A very good afternoon to all. Divya ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
आशीष नहीं आए.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
यार, I'm not able to get to you.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible to you, ma'am?
No, you are, but I'm not able to get through to you.
Yes, ma'am. Now
There's
you're visible as well as audible.
No, I can only, but I don't know how am I doing it, man.
Ma'am, your video and your audio is completely fine. Now you've muted yourself, ma'am.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But I'm not able to, I mean, I cannot see any one of you all.
Ma'am, there must be a setting. You're using
कुछ
your
गड़बड़ है? Because I did try to do it, but then it's not coming now. I'll
But
try
ma'am-
again.
Yes, ma'am, but you are visible to us, to all the participants.
Actually, I am, because you people are not visible to me. But nonetheless, I will still be with you all to speak to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, the topic that was given to me,
Yes.
stupendous task. It's a huge topic and a very interesting topic, which I have to actually speak on. And before I start on with this topic of yours,
And before we start, ma'am, there is a little introduction which we will, Dr. Priyanshi Singh will be giving to
Okay.
start the session. So with your
Okay.
permission, can we begin?
Of course, of course.
Priyanshi ma'am, we can start with the session with ma'am's permission.
A very good afternoon to Professor Dr. Divya Chansoria ma'am, Head and Dean Faculty of Law, Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur, and Mr. Gaurav Gulati, Director, Roy Pennell Group, a unit of Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society, Prayagraj, and all the participants. I, Priyansha Singh Dikshit, welcome you all on day 2 of the 15 days online refresher course on Teaching Pedagogy in Legal Studies, Commerce and Social Sciences, organized by the Department of Legal Studies and Research, Barkatullah University, Bhopal, and Roy Pennell Group, a unit of Arjun Das Gulati Memorial Society, Prayagraj, in collaboration with Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, National Mission on Teachers and Teaching, Ministry of Education, Government of India. For our first session today, we have Professor Dr. Divya Chansoria ma'am as our resource person, and she is currently the Head and Dean Faculty of Law of Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur. And over to you, ma'am.
Now, the topic of my research, today, or should I say, to share my thoughts with you all today, is definitely it's love, stupid, and on with the schools and things like that, and the least social transfer.
सर आदेश करिए मैं सर आदेश करिए
Hello.
साढ़े 3 से 5 या फिर शाम को चलेगा.
All the participants are requested kindly mute yourself until unless it is not required to unmute.
You could I know? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you could do me a favor that could you just speed out the topic that I'm supposed to be talking on,
Uh,
so that all the participants can hear you loud and clear.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'll read out the topic. The topic of today's session is law and social transformation.
Law and social transformation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With law and social transformation, I'll give a little more thing before we go down, because this it is a huge topic talking about research ethics and meaning of research and so on, because it concerns with the transformation, and it concerns with the topics given to the students for their research work, and of course the law and the social transformation as well. Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Because you people's voice is too slow, na? Too meek for me to this thing. So to start with, let's just talk about, before we come down to law and social transformation, let's talk about, or should I say that let me share the ethics or the ethical research of this topic. Now, first is, what are the basic ingredients that we ought to know about the research ethics? One, I feel, is honesty. It has to be an honest report, data, research, method, procedures, publications, status, that is not to be fabricated. This is falsifying or misrepresentation of the data, right? Now, the second is objectivity. Now, what is objectivity? It is the strive to avoid bias in the experimental designs, data analysis, data interpretation, peer review, and then it comes down as grant writing, expert testimony, and other aspects of research. You have tools in that. Now, because we are basically wanting, it is the social transformation in research that has taken place and that should take place in past so many decades, right? Then you have to be is how careful or how illogical or how well aware are you of the topic? That is, it includes, we have this thing, that is carefully and critically examine your own topic, your work, and work of your own peers. You have to keep a good record of research activities. Avoid carelessness, errors, and negligence, which we often do. I mean, we as teachers, we do often expect that students will be doing some wrong, some right, some this, some that, like that. Then it becomes is integrity. Now, in integrity, you have to keep yourself promises and agreements, acts with sincerity. Strive for consistency of thought of action. That's very important, isn't it? Integrity is akhandita. Now, what is that? Why so important? Why so integrated? Why do we call it so integrated? So you have to be one and only one focus onto it, how it goes, where it goes, and to what extent it leads, right? Then you have communicative results. Now, what are those communicative results? Where your ethical research or the ethics in your research bounds you? That is publication in order to advance research and scholarships. Not to advance just your icon or ocon career. Avoid wasteful and duplicative of publications, which you often come across. Now, the sixth important aspect is respect for intellectual the copyrights and the other forms of intellectual property. 2. Do not use an unpublished data, methods, or results without permission. 3. Give credit wherever credit is due. 4. Never go in for plagiarize. You can't do it. You just can't pick up anything from anywhere. I'm looking at the topic and what am I saying? I mean, just now I just now said, can't you look into the topic and? Hello?
Ma'am, there is a minor network issue from your side.
Is it? अब क्या करें?
Ma'am, now it's purely audible.
Are you, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where did we leave the link? Where you could hear?
I'm on your last line.
The last is the communicative result.
No, ma'am, before that.
Okay. The integrity.
Yes, ma'am. Around that only.
The integrity is Akhandita that I told you way back in English, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is Akhandita? Hanji? I'm not able to hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
It's becomes difficult giving online, no? Because network issue and things like that happens. So
Yes,
what to do?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So where I was talking is integrity. I will start again.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
integrity is what? Keep your promises and agreements, act with the sincerity, strive for consistency of thoughts and action. This is what your integrity should be towards the research. And this is one of the important aspects of ethics for research, right? Then you have is the communicative result. Now, what is communicative result? How the very word says is communicative result. So the communicative result is basically what? It is the publication or which are published in order to advance research and scholarship. Not to advance just your own career. So here I would say is avoid wasteful and deceptive publications. Okay. Now what happens is, next thing that comes into our mind is, what is another important aspect that we should keep in mind where the research in the ethics in the research should comprise of? That is, of course, respect for intellectual property. Respect, I repeat, respect for intellectual property. That is to say, honor patents, copyrights, and other forms of intellectual property. Do not use unpublished data, methods, or resolutions without permissions. Give credit wherever credit is due. Never go in for fraud, never go in for copying, never go in for such places where it seems that you have not done right and you are doing illegally and you are doing wrong. And for that purpose, you could be penalized and your thesis could go to dumps. Then another important aspect is, that is confidentiality. Now, why so confidentiality? Have you ever thought on this line? Confidentiality for what? Confidentiality for protect confidential communications such as papers or grants submitted for publications, trade or military secrets. That's very important. You have to adhere to such things as well, which we do try to, but sometimes we do also make a mess of the whole issue. Then another aspect comes is openness. Now, what is openness? Openness means spashtata. It is to share the data. It is the results. It is the ideas. It is the tools. It is the resources which are to be open, or which could be open, or which should be open to the criticism and new ideas. Am I getting you people? Am I
Yes,
getting
ma'am. Ji,
Okay.
ji.
Then another this thing is the responsible monitoring. Now, how
Yes.
would you do that? What is responsible monitoring? And who does that? And how is it done? And why should it be done? And to what extent should it be done? Is it really necessary for it to be done? Or is it something that can be avoidable? So the answer is the monitoring is done by your guide, by you, to your students. How well, how good, how bad, it is you who's speaking through your student to that particular research. Am I clear on that? Now, another point that comes to our mind is social responsibility. Now, what is social responsibility? हम किसके प्रति उत्तरदायी हैं? किसके प्रति? Obviously, the word says social, the word says samajik, the word says responsibility, the word says how far, to what extent do we really feel, do we really think, do we really appreciate, do we really mean that we are one of them who are very, very important to the society and are there to give a full, not half, complete 100% of your responsibility towards the society. Then it should be non-discrimination. You have to keep that in mind. Why non-discrimination? For how long it could be discriminated? Where it could be discriminated? How it is done so? And where is the stop? So here it is you, your brain, because basically research work is your brainchild, that is student's brainchild, on which you are monitoring, right? Now, this was something that I was wanting to say is the ethical part of the research. I mean, why the ethic, why the morality, why the doings, why the don'ts, by the society to the people, to the researcher, from the researcher to the society as it, right? Then now, next aspect of your topic, which I would like to really share with you is the meaning of research. I know over here, mind you, that we are all here only to strengthen our hands. And we have to be one where your students stand, where you stand, and where your society stands, where your department stands, and where your culture stands, where your research stands, where your topic stands, where the problem stands, that you have to be really, really careful, cautious, and very particular about it. You could be stern. You don't have to be so wicked. You have to be firm. You've got to be firm. So when you tell your child, okay, beta, you have to write on this. This is, ma'am, I want to write on this. Sir, I want to write on this. Okay, do it. But explain it to me. How is it done? Why is it done? Where it is done? What is to be done? You have to make it a point to completely put me into confidence that you are able to do it. Now, the idea is if you are not able to do it, and incidentally, you are my scholar, then you do exactly what I ask you to do. Give that margin, give that space to your scholars. That's very important. Otherwise, how will you know that where is he wandering? Where is his mind wandering? Where is she flying? And where she has to be curtailed, and like that. No? Now, when we go in for this portion is research, what does the research actually mean? Have you ever thought about it? There must be so many people, there must be so many scholars, there must be so many ways, there must be so many intellects who have actually talked about what research is, how research is done, and to what it is important, and to how it is important, to how long it goes to the society or the law, ethics, like that, right? Now, the first major point that comes in the mind is research is a derivative of the French word called rechercher, means quest, search, pursuit, and research for truth. No, it is derivative of a French word. So, idea is, where has it come from? How have we picked this up? And why is it so important? The second is, research in common parlance refers to a research of knowledge. Now, what is that research of knowledge? Knowledge of whom? Knowledge of those that you are actually having that rambling thoughts. What thoughts? The haywire thoughts. You are not static. You are still wondering, ये भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसा भी हो सकता है, ये छोड़ दे क्या, इसको अच्छे से बोल दे क्या, इसको खूब अच्छे से लिखें क्या, इसके बारे में अभी और पढ़ना चाहिए. You know, there are so many rambling thoughts that come. So you've got to have that perfection, that thought, that focus where your research is pointed out to. Then it comes as, it is a careful investigation. It is what? It is a perfect and a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. No. So it is an investigation. Investigation ये थोड़ी है कि किसी को मार दिया तो हमने कहा दिया कि भाई ठीक है investigate करो. नहीं. Investigation of something through research for new facts in any branch of knowledge. Now, when I come back to that knowledge stream, I will tell you what knowledge I feel that you should be able to tell your students what you actually want, right? Then it comes as, it is a systematized effort to gain new knowledge. First was, it is search. First was, it is search for knowledge. Then was, it is the investigation to any branch of search, right? And now is the systematized effort to gain any knowledge. Now, there will be so many people like Clifford Woody, like Seltzer, like Stephenson, like so many. I mean, they in their encyclopedia and so on, they'll be having so many definitions on that. I don't have to just read about their definitions to you. It's there. So it's nothing new that I'll be telling you on that. So we'll skip that who says what and how it is done and why it is done. So we will just skip on that. Then we come down is that research is an original contribution. That is, what are we talking about? It is the meaning of research. And what is research? Research is an original contribution to the existing stock of knowledge, making for its advancement. It is a dedication of truth and the help of study, observations, comparisons, and the experiment. No, it is true. It is there. It has to be there. So, it is a systematic approach, mind you. Next is, the research refers to systematic approach, not only approach, but of the method as well, consistent of enunciating the problems. What? The problems, formulating a hypothesis that you already know. You know what it is. Collecting of facts or data, analyzing the facts and reaching certain conclusions, either in the form of solutions towards the concerned problem or in a certain generalization for some theoretical formulation. It's very clear on that. The very thought on this was to see that you need to have a hypothetical thinking. That hypothetical thinking, whether it is right, whether your research is close to it, and if it is close to it, how well and how far is it close to it? If not, then you deny that. It is not to this. So research is just not that, ye hona tha, this is what I have thought, it is there, it is there, it is there. No, it is not there. It is not there. I have not found that in the research. So that is the honest confession. That is the honest lead by the student in his or her research. Okay. Now, another aspect is research means. What does research mean now? I already told you so many things. Now, to compile it, what does research mean? It is a mission. It is a search. It is a hunt. It is exploration for truth. The purpose research is to discover, answer to questions or problems. To questions or problems through the application of scientific procedures. Now, why do we, it can't be chemistry, it can't be physics, it can't be biology. No, it cannot be. It could be also the problems of the society. It could be also the don'ts of the society. It could be also the do's of the society. It could be also the lacuna which is prevalent into the society, where you can actually pinpoint what it is and what it is not, and how it should be. It is your zona. It is your way. It is your thought. It is your brainchild, which you have to protect at any cause to any limit. You get me? Because after you do your research, or while you're doing your research, and by the time you submit your research, there's one thing very important is that nobody should know more than what you know apart from your guide. And your guide is only there with you, behind you. After you finished your research, after you've submitted your thought, after you've submitted your solutions and the problems which you have actually worked upon, till then only your guide is behind you. But of course, when you turn around, your guide is always there to say yes or to say no, to ask you or to say that no, it is not done so, it can't be done so. But he or she will be the guiding force for you to move up the ladder. No? So one can't just avoid that. Pardon me?
My class कल तो सुन के मैं थक गए.
क्या बोल रहे? कुछ तो भी बोल रहे, मुझे नहीं सुनाई दे रहा और ना ही मुझे दिखाई दे रहा.
No problem, madam. You can continue. Thank you so much. There is some disturbance.
There is this. So
No
यहाँ पर
issue.
समझ में आता, then I start looking at you people because unfortunately I'm not able to look at you people. So okay, so that I can see your body language, see where I should put a stop.
No,
But
no,
this is
please
important.
continue.
teacher.
Okay,
This.
continue.
So here it is that what I just now said was, it is the mission, it is the search, it is the hunt, it is the exploration for the truth. The purpose of research is to discover the answer to questions or problems through the application of scientific procedures. So what is scientific procedure? 2 plus 2 is 4. No, 2 plus 2 can be 5. 1 plus 2 can be 3. 1 plus 2 can be 4 also, and 5 also. Says who? Says the scientific world. How is it to be proved? And why should it be proved? That is your mind, your zeal, your thought that is actually to be taken to test. Then is the scientific research is what? Scientific research is a systematic, controlled, empirical, critical investigation of hypothetical propositions about the presumed relation among the natural phenomenon. Do I have to say that again? I'll say that again. It is the scientific research is a systematic, controlled, empirical, critical investigation of hypothetical propositions about the presumed relation among the natural what? Natural what? It is a natural phenomena. So here we could understand was, what is the meaning of research? Now the next point comes is, it is the research or the objectives of the research. So initially what we said was, it was the meaning of research. So here the basics that has to be seen through, has to be taken into account, and you cannot say that it cannot be done, or it can be done in this way or that way, and things like that. Okay. Now, then it is the objective of research. What is the objective of research? It is the purpose of research is to discover answer to questions through the applications of scientific procedure, like I told you earlier. The main aim of the research is to find out the truth which is hidden and which is not been discovered as yet. Though each research study has its own specific purpose, we may think of research objectives as filling into number of following broad groupings. Now, what are those groupings? The groupings are to gain familiarity with the phenomenon or to achieve the new insights into what? Into its study with this object in view are termed as exploratory or formulative research study. Now, it is on that. Now, it is another thing is to portray accurately the characteristics of the particular individual, situations, or a group of studies with this object in view are known as descriptive research study. पहला वाला क्या था? It is explanatory or formulative research study. ठीक है? दूसरा वाला हो गया descriptive research study. And now what does the rumbling mind say? Furthermore, your rumbling mind says furthermore, to determine the frequency with which something occurs or which is associated with something else. Now, what is something else? That something else is known as diagnostic research. Diagnostic research study. Okay. So the first one was again, it is exploratory, formulative research study. Second one was descriptive research study. The third one is diagnostic research study. And the fourth one, which is very important, is the test of the hypothesis. Hypothesis is ideal thought. It is such a thought that you feel ideally it should be there, it is there, it should not be there, it could be there, so many rambling thoughts. So the test of hypothesis is a causal relationship between the variables, such studies are known as hypothesis testing research study. So we have 4 of them. I hope you all are clear about it. Now, another very important aspect for research is, this all comes in your ethical, no? It's taking a little long, but now, since we are at it, we must know, we should have a clear idea to what exactly we are wanting our students to do. Now, another very important topic is motivation in research. The first was objective of research, which we got 4 of them in number. Now it comes as motivation in research. Now, what is this motivation in research? Motify thodi hota hai bhai. It is not just drilled apart into it, or it is not screwed into it, into the worms, into your mind, into your stomach, into your, digestive system. No, it is not so. The motivation in research is what makes the people to understand research. This is a question of fundamental importance. The possible motivations, your motives for doing research may be either one or more than one, or more than so many of them, like desire to get research degree along with its consequential benefits. Then, desire to face the challenge in solving the unsolved problems, like concern over practical problems initiates research. 3, desire to get intellectual joy of doing some creative work. 4, desire to be of service to society. Desire to get respectability. Curiosity amongst unknowns. Desire to understand the cause and the effects of the widespread social problems. Then, appearance of novel and unanticipated. It is a tongue twister. You can't anticipate. It is anticipated solutions and to which the situation arises. Last is desire to discover new and discuss and test the old scientific procedure as an efficient way to gain useful fundamental knowledge. You got that? Now we come down to another important aspect is what? It is the types of research. How many types of research are there? Or how many types we feel that it is done? How could it be done? So here we goes. 1. The basic type of research are as follows. 1. Descriptive versus analytical. The type of research is what? The descriptive versus analytical. Now, what is descriptive? It includes surveys and fact-finding inquiries of several kinds too. The major purpose of descriptive research is description of the state of affairs in its exists as it exists at present. You get me? Then it comes as applied. And of course, what is an article? You are analyzing it. You are going mathematical. You are feeling it. You are concentrating on it. And you are trying to drive your own situation and own solutions and own thoughts or the rambling thoughts. Then it comes as applied versus fundamental research. Now, what are they? They are research can either be applied, that is action, research or fundamental, that is to basic or pure research. Now, what is applied research? It aims at finding a solution for an immediate problem facing a society or an industrial business organization, whereas fundamental research is mainly concerned with the generalization and with the formulation of the theory. You get me? So, the two, applied and fundamental. Then another important feature is qualitative and quantitative research. They are important features of this. Now, what is qualitative research? It is based on the measurements of quantity or amount. It is applicable to phenomena that can be expressed in terms of quantity. So obviously that word says no quantitative. So wo to wahi hoga na, quantitative kya hai? What is the quantity behind it? It can be volumes, but quantity means what? Quantity means the feature that you are actually featuring, the pose, the problem that you're actually facing, which is actually pondering your thoughts. That is what it is. But then what is qualitative? So the qualitative research is that it is concerned with the qualitative phenomena. Now, what is that? That is phenomena relating to or involving quality or kind. For instance, ये तो ज़्यादा हो गया, फिर से बोल देते हैं. Qualitative research is concerned with qualitative phenomena, that is phenomena relating to or involving quality or kinds. For instance, we are interested in investigating the research for human behavior. That is why people think or do certain things. We often talk of motivation research, an important type of qualitative research. This I picked up. But the crux is same. The crux is just that it has to be qualitative and it has to be quantitative or no. It is not meant that any quantity ho gaya, pages like diya, and it is over. No, it is not so. You have to have a qualitative thing. You can't have just quantity going on. You just can't fill up the pages. No, that's not research, really. That is just wasting your time and energy on that quarter. The quantitative thing should come out. The feature should come out. The nexus should come out. The thought should come out. The center point should come out, like that. Then it comes as conceptual versus empirical. What is conceptual versus empirical research? Conceptual research is that related to some abstract ideas or theory. This concept. It generally uses or is used by philosophers and thinkers to develop new concepts or to reinterpret existing ones. No? Now, it can reinterpret the existing ones, no doubt. But what does empirical research says? Empirical research says, which it relies on experience or observation alone, often without due regards for system and theory. It is data-based research coming up with conclusions which are capable of being verified by observing or experimenting that. Then works to get through facts, that is data, to prove or disapprove his hypothesis. He then sets, after doing his research or after getting into all this, what he feels is there. Now, another topic that comes into your mind is, this concerns all research, right? Now, another topic that comes into your mind is that topic, how can we go in for the topics for the law students for doing the research? I'll pick up two. I'll talk about constitutional law, and I will also talk about the criminal law, right? I have some points written, but I would like to share that with you. You could have also written, you could have also read the same, but it is to be concised, it has to be followed, it should be followed. How well you are there to conceive it into your minds and reproduce it through your students, through your researcher or your research scholars, and which is beneficial or which gets beneficial to the society. Now, what are those legal topics? For example, I will just say some. What is a Pegasus spy-fire controversy on the right of privacy in India? You know, this I was reading some article in Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It is the impact, to be honest enough, it is the impact of the recent Pegasus spyware controversy on the right to privacy in India. 2. The effectiveness of new constitution, Scheduled Castes, Orders Amendment Act 2021 in protecting the rights of scheduled castes in India. Again, the sources is what I felt, what I researched is Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Then we have is the legality and implications of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Again, the thought that was brought out was from the Ministry of Home Affairs. Then it is the constitutional validity of the farm law passed by the Indian Parliament for the welfare of farmers. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare was one topic which has not been touched so far to quite an extent. It has not been touched. Now the constitution comes as, okay, we've just talked about the validity of the farm laws. And now when we talk about the legality and implication of Citizenship Amendment Bill 2019, how and where and when and what complication and implication does it have? You have to get it focused on some area. It's a huge topic, but you have to get yourself focused. Then constitutionality of collegium system in India. Of course, there are specific case laws that are done. There are a number of changes that you're seeing. The then constitution and now the constitution. and the upcoming constitutionality of the collegiums system in India. Then what you have is the constitutional right of privacy and its implications for data and so on and so forth. I will not go further. I do have so many topics written, which I thought my rambling thoughts were going in. I asked my students also to write something on this. Some we could pick up on the criminal law, that is Amendment 2018 mein kya tha, and addressing against crimes against women in India. Then you have Supreme Court ruling on the use of remand in implications of criminal cases. The impact of new anti-trafficking bill 2021 on human trafficking in India. I have one of my students writing on this. I think he's doing quite well on this. The interpretation and implications of the juvenile justice. It is an old topic, but it changes. So here what I was wanting to say was these are some aspects where we can really do and what we can actually have. Now, when we come down, before we come down to social transformation, now where the research aspect is concerned, what I feel is how well and how far has the research experienced its changes. For instance, I'll give you a small little example. I was talking to Mona the other day, and that is Professor Mona. I was talking to her the other day, and what combines over here is that now we are bound into statutes. We are bound into rules. We are bound into certain spheres where we should not be allowed to get out. Initially, it was not so. For example, now where initially the research work used to be, okay, the student has come, has studied so much and has got his points, and like the RDC stands place and sees the synopsis and correction kuch hota hai, kuch nahi hota hai, and then thereafter it gets over like that. It happens like that. But is it the same today? How is it that it has changed overnight? Or has it changed overnight? And if it has changed overnight, what are the causes for its change overnight? For instance, now you have the marking, that is 55% hona chahiye for you to appear in the selection of the PhD entrance examination, what we say. Initially, entrance examination was not there, but today entrance examination is there. And you have to qualify that entrance examination, and the merit is made. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jiska bhi time hai, jiska paas mein bhi vacancy hai, they fulfill that vacancy and they kind of get to it. Not only this, after the vacancy has been filled, they have to undergo 6 months course, which is known as pre-PhD course, which they have to follow, in which they have to pass. Immaterial what you pass. 60% hai, 50% hai, 50% ke niche aayega to fail ho gaye. So, I mean, these are the changes that is come down where your authoritative, where your PhD ordinance now is concerned. I'm sure you must be having the PhD ordinance. Try and go through it. It's somewhere it is tricky, but somewhere it is nice. It is, it should be followed, like that. Now, taking a little breath. Allow me to drink water for a gulp of water, please. Chal, thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm audible, ma'am.
Yes, you are.
One question regarding, as you discussed previously, regarding some example you have put here, one IT example you have put regarding the research. Same question on my madam side. If we go for the empirical research, just I choose the topic like PASCO Act. So how many cases registered in PASCO in last year, and how many got the conviction from the courts?
Could I know who's speaking?
So I'm giving example of one question.
Could I know who am I talking to?
I'm Dr. Pradeep.
Okay, Dr. Pradeep, firstly, where we stand over here, we stand here to pick up certain things from what the data are collected. These data, today what we get is, it's
Yeah.
not just latest, right?
I'm coming to the point, ma'am. I'm coming to my
Uh-huh.
question is not completed.
Okay.
If definitely if we go for the empirical research, researchers hunt for the data, which
Yeah.
is primary data. Okay.
Okay.
So as far as legal research is concerned, if we go for the empirical research, most of the data we collect from the courts.
True.
Definitely, if you are doing the research in the year of 2022.
True.
So in the court, when researchers go, they are not getting that data because
They will not.
maintain,
Please continue.
they not maintain the website, and not they are insulting the researcher. They are not providing the data on that matter. So in that matter, what we can do for that?
Dr. Saab, यहाँ पर हम सिर्फ आपको इतना बोलेंगे that your system is lacking certain process and procedure where we can keep reminding through our research, through our application, through our thoughts, through our questions to the ministry, to the people concerned, to the judiciary, to so many XYZ, so many provisions, where the datas are given or should be given on time. I will be coming down to another topic in social reformation. I was wanting to speak, though I will speak little later. You've asked me the question thoda sa early, but then I was wanting to speak to you on intelligentsia towards the courts. That is artificial intelligentsia towards the courts and so many other this thing. So they are producing such things, and how they are producing, I will be coming down to that topic if I'll be permitted. Then I will be also talking on that area, on that.
Madam,
But where
may I
this-
interrupt?
Please.
Please. Whoever have asked this question, first of all, are you wanting data which is sub judice in nature? Would you like to get the data which is already sub judice?
Yes, this is already subject, because if students is doing research in the legal field, definitely in the current position in 2022. So
Try to
obviously,
understand the
data of
things. Some documents.
2022. But
Okay.
the court is not able to provide that kind of data in a stance period on that moment.
Try to understand one thing,
It is,
something which is with the court, right? If
Yes.
the matter is sub judice, court
cannot
should
speak on
not
it.
provide that data to you.
I'm not going through on the sub judice matter. The
Okay.
matter is already decided.
Okay, so the data, if it is from the High Court and the Supreme Court, you are getting that data. I'm right?
Yes.
There's no problem with the Supreme Court and High Court data. You are only facing data retrieving from the district court,
District court.
right?
Mm.
So
Yes.
what process you are adopting?
Correct.
What process
Absolutely
you are adopting to get the data? Let me know first.
No, I'm a query about the students who face the problem. My research is complete. I've got the PhD, but
No, sir, I'm not saying this. When you are sending your student to collect the data, what is the process adopted by you?
process question us and what the requirement is there
No,
according to.
sir. There is a fixed process, right? To get the data from the district court, first you have to write an authority letter, and that letter should be attached with an application to the district court, DJ and session court, that the data in this particular format is required. Is it clear?
True.
And the format should be fixed, not in the form of questionnaire. They will not provide you data in a format of questionnaire.
True.
They will only give you the data which is available with them in a fixed format which they are having, right? So just demand the data in the format which is maintained by that particular district court.
True.
True,
So
true.
rather than sending them with the questionnaire, my suggestion will be, because I am also sending my student to the district court for collecting
True,
data.
true,
But
true,
what we
true.
are doing, first we are providing them the authority letter that
True.
that data will not be used by us for publication of any document,
True,
right? Without
true,
taking permission from the district court. Once
true.
that authority letter will be with them, then only they will give you that data in the name of the institution, not to the individual student,
True,
because you
true.
cannot control the
You cannot.
students.
Yes.
So these are the process, the fix, right? I think your query will be resolved by this, that there is a format by which we can go to the court and retrieve the data from the district court.
True, 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 true. So can we get back to it, Dr. Saab?
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Chalo. Here it is a long process. That is why we are here to discuss the problems, the pros and the cons of the legal research. Because I feel that where the other researches are concerned, they are basically theoretical. They can't be practical. And they are practical where the science is concerned. But where the social science is concerned, it is little difficult. But where law is concerned, there is a certain procedure where you have to follow. And we being the law students, we have to adhere to those procedures, right? Now, coming back to the topic here is law and social transformation. I mean, though your topic was too huge, too vast, extremely interesting, and I was extremely enthusiastic, but because of paucity of time, I have just crunched myself to law and social transformation. Now, here, what is law and social transformation? And does law transform the social transformation? Or does the transformation takes place into social and the law? How is it? Is it vice versa? Is it straight? Or is it upside down? How is it? How is it so important? So the idea is, when we introduce, and before we get into this bit, we could also see that what is the introduction and the background of this formation or this transformation of law and social. So here it is, law is a system. We've already read this. I have just put it down in black and white, which I am just going through it. It is a system of laws that governs the peaceful coexistence of two people living in the society or the social setting, right? The two is, the term society refers to a group of people who are bounded together by law, culture, and social conventions. This is where your introduction lies, right? Now, society defined by the law that are passed in that civilization, and it is through these laws that we can distinguish if a society is developed or wild. So do I need to give you example? Okay, I'll give you example when little further to come. Now, when law alters society, mark me, when law alters society, it marks the start of the process of social evolution. It marks the process of social evolution. Law is an effective tool for bringing about societal change in every part of the world. So here, law, we are seeing it as a effective tool, right? With the result of what? With the result as we renew our beliefs what the rule of law is critical, and in addressing changes in social structure and interpersonal relationships. It aids in the modernization and societal transformation. The law establishes the expected behavior of a citizen in certain community. It also creates to provide suitable policies and instructions to all its residents, as well as to ensure that the legislative, administrative, and the judiciary all work together in harmony. Our country does that. Question to you. If the rule of law were to be abolished, just think, if the rule of law were to be abolished, do you feel that chaos would regain? And the righteous would be left to fend for themselves? By molding society, I feel, such as via the implementation of the compulsory schooling, that is system, law plays an important role in social transformation. This is one. On the other hand, the legislation interacts with social institutions to form a link between law and social change, such as ban on the social ill or bigamy. Law is a rule of behavior imposed by the ultimate power in the state, demanding what is proper and banning what is evil. Get me? So this is what was the introduction or the background of the changing, that is the transformation of law. What will be its content? Another thing is how. What will be its content? Its content would be, when a law changes the society, it marks the difference, it marks the beginning of the community's growth. We can use some historical instances to demonstrate this. It was well considered as a taboo when Savitribai Phule, Mahatma Phule's wife, began instructing only females. Nonetheless, as the obligatory education system was established, this is one we can't really overrule. We can't really overlook the system, isn't it? So this movement gradually transformed into the source of legislation. If you go back to it, unenthusiastically, society began to send women to school and college, which is encouraging sign of being of the community's growth. This is one aspect. Similarly, certain places at Aligarh Muslim College were set aside for women students. I will not use the word female, I would call them as women. The law plays a vital role in changing the society. Similarly, other cases in law offers the changes such like regressive people of the society in Indraswani versus Union of India. The Apex Court has revolutionized the idea of creamy layer test, mind you. The creamy layer test for safeguarding benefits of social righteousness to the regressive class, deprived people and omitted persons belonging to such creamy layer. Could you believe that? It has done so. 2. The social evil bigamy frequently generates social illness. You would agree to this. The Apex Court has done what? The Apex Court has tautened the trap over those evading penalty by taking a plea of conversion to Islam. In Lily Thomas, it is stated, in Lily Thomas versus Union of India. Then, the Apex Court held that the second marriage of Hindu husband after conversion to Islam without having his first marriage dissolved under the law would be invalid. The second marriage would be void in terms of the provisions of section 494 IPC. And the absconded husband would be guilty of the offense disciplinary under the section 494 IPC. This judgment of the apex court would be undoubtedly be cooperative in eradicating the bigamy. Of course, there are do's, there are don'ts, but there is a check. I will not call it a balance. There is a check to such happenings. Then, of course, the burning of the bride. In Paniben versus State of Gujarat, for instance, the apex court gave the fortification of major girl and boy who have observed intercaste or interreligion marriage. Then the caste system and the judicial process, I'm sorry. In Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, the apex court has also fortifying, or it has fortification to the major boy and the girl who have observed the intercaste and interreligion marriage. Don't forget the Gaurav Jain versus Union of India. Everybody knows that is the child prostitution. The apex court delivered the guidelines for the release and the reintegration of child prostitutes and children of the prostitutes. So here it tells you to ponder over certain things, what has changed the society, what difference it has made into the society, and what research that we have to do, and to bring it to the light and to bring it to the focus of those government and the people and the authorities concerned. Like, look, this is where we are going wrong. We are the guiding force. They cannot just sit in one room and make any laws and get it done. No, the process is over. The thought is over. The way is over. The zeal is over. They have to get down to some little hard work and to some little proper study, right? Now coming down to is the analysis. Now what is this analysis? Analysis of what? Analysis of the transformation, the reforms. How does it come? Where does it come? To what it comes and how far it goes. That has to be pondered by us. And that has to be inculcated in your voice through the students who have come down to actually ponder into the certain problems, certain happenings, which kind of jitters you, which kind of shakes you totally if you are living in that society. And you're part of it. You are concerned. And why not? You should be concerned. Now, how do we analyze this? It is by controlling the group of remunerations. The law aids societies in integrating differences. The law is a progressive vehicle for social or societal transformation. Women's conditions are to be improved. I'm just taking a topic of a woman and a child because yes, there could be beggars also. There could be downtrodden people also. There could be such people who are so apprehended. There's such people who are so scared. There's such people, I mean, there are n number of happenings which keep happening in the complete society, and you're seeing and you just close your eyes. No, you didn't close your eyes. That's why we are here. That's why we check them. That's why we try and balance them. So we follow the system of checks and balance. So here in this light, we can say women's conditions are also improved. Are also improved to an extent that deaths, the legislation can be observed when you talk of this. So here the do you feel the women's conditions have improved to or the result of such laws? In the light of this, several situations and legislations can be observed, like the dowry deaths. Dowry death is a most ailment, dominant in the society. In so many cases of Jharkhand, say like Raja Lal Singh versus state of Jharkhand, the Supreme Court says that suicide of Gayatri is due to dowry-related annoyance. Yet there is another process where they say, the Apex Court says, the PNDT or the Cheat Act was ratified by the Parliament 5 years ago, but the court issued for the appropriate execution of PNDT. That is what? Judicial Process and Female Foeticide. Restrictions to it on female infanticides, distressing, inclusive sex ratio, and serves chaos in the society, man. You can't just breathe over there. The PNDT such acts for eradicating this did come and is there. The harassment of women in its workplace, now it has become the act, of course, of 2013. But the Apex Court has given a guideline to it. And it is well known, it was well known, and it is still sung about. That is Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. And it says that what? Issued that the right to be freed from the sexual harassment is a fundamental right under Article 14, 15, and 21 of the Constitution. The court has allowed rules to be shadowed by the owner for regulating the nuisance of women at the workplace. Is it still prohibited? Or are they scared of this? Do they adhere to this? How far? How long? How back? Is something to be pondered upon. Then it comes as a immoral trafficking problems. Immoral trafficking is an extensive social disorder. This is an interest which controls a necessity. The necessary in state of Maharashtra versus Mohammad Sajid Hussain. There's so many of them here. But one has just picked up where the Apex Court says something. The court has forbidden the plea for bail to the convicts who drive the minor girls to flesh trade. It's not only bad, it's human. You can curse it. It is not only flesh trade for the girls, mind you. It is also meant for the boys. It is both that comes into being. You could also offend the modesty of the woman. Kanwal Pal Singh, state of, and the state they say, that is administrative UT, that is Chandigarh. The accused hit on his Mrs. Rupan Deol Bajaj, an IAS officer, in front of other people. The suspect was DGP. Mind you, the suspect was the DGP of the state of Punjab. the CGM condemned him under section 354 and 509 IPC. The Apex Court discouraged the appeal filed by the accused. So at least they are standing by you. Here the problem lies that how far these laws have played their role in their social transformation. I think I'm done for today. Any questions? Hello.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Hello.
giving so many insights on research.
Hello.
And
Hello. Hello. Mona? Mona?
ma'am, am I
Hello?
audible to you?
Yes, you are. Am I? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Could you hear me to what all I've talked to you till
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I'm done with it. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Any
No,
problems?
No, ma'am. Thank you,
Bolo bolo pucho. I'm here
for
only to
giving so
strengthen
many
your hands.
insights on research. Yes, ma'am. If participants have any questions, you can ask, ma'am. If any participants have questions, they can ask, ma'am.
No? Hello?
Ma'am, the participants don't have any questions. No, ma'am.
No, na?
No,
मुझे
ma'am.
लगता है कि that body language has started showing, no? I can understand. My God, 1.5
Ma'am,
hours.
it was a very interesting session, and thank you for giving insights on research and especially enlightening us on the meaning types and the motivation.
Thank you so much for inviting me to do so. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for joining. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
And
Thank you so much, Mona. Thank you so much. All because of you.
definitely.
Thank you.
And
No,
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Our resource person for second session is here. A very good evening to you, sir. With your permission, I would like to begin the session. Dr. S.K. Tiwari, sir. A very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening, dear. Hope you all will be very well.
Sir, can we begin with the session?
Okay.
For our second session today, we have Dr. Santosh Kumar Tiwari, sir, Assistant Professor, Gautam Buddha University, Noida, as our resource person. We are honored to have you here, sir. I would like to request Santosh, sir, to kindly proceed with the session. The topic of this session is changing dimensions of research pedagogy, disciplinary to transdisciplinary, with special reference to social legal issues. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gaurav Babu and team. Without any delay and without taking much more time and without any formality, I would like to come on my topic. Basically, the refresher course, which is titled with the teaching pedagogy in the legal studies, commerce and social sciences. Now in these days, here a very recent trend, that is the monodisciplinary to transdisciplinary. Right now, the dimension of the teaching as well as the research, especially in the field of law, right now has been changed. Here one thing is very important to clear that the monodisciplinary to transdisciplinary. As we talks about the monodisciplinary, that is the where major discipline involved in only law and its subdivisions. Second thing, it does not account any other allied subject area of the social sciences. And third one thing, that the established legal provisions and with the help of judicial pronouncements, the teaching and research must be made. That is the monodisciplinary. But right now, the transdisciplinary, we can say that the interdisciplinary teaching and research, that is the involved basically the law as well as the social sciences too. Same with, it depends upon the faculty members, it depends on the researcher, it depends on the students, with the depth of knowledge of the researcher, of the students, of the faculty member in the both field, law as well as the social sciences. So right now, it is need and demand of the time that we have to teach or we have to do research in interdisciplinary area. So we can say right now, we can teach our teaching pedagogy, we can use our research pedagogy with the legal research, with the legal teaching as well as the social issues too. Our teaching, our research must be resolve the problem of the social issues. In recent days, we are facing that there are several legal issues, and Parliament is trying to make the legislation upon the issues. Judiciary trying to interpret the laws on the issues. Executive trying to execute the judicial pronouncement pronounced by the different high courts and the Supreme Courts. Law established by the legislature as well as the state legislature or central legislature. But right now, society is in a very awkward situation. If we talk about the current decades as 2013 to 2023, Supreme Court and the high courts passed the several orders or judgments that is making to our society in a very different stream. Our society is going, that's why our society is going in a very different streams. Firstly, we will talk about the judgment of the Nand Kumar versus State of Kerala, 2014. Along the same, Nalsa versus Union of India. In the both judgment, Supreme Court regularly said that the live-in relationship right now becomes a fundamental rights. Only the condition is party must be measures. They are living with the consents. So consent is the free consent. Because of they have a right to life and personal liberty. And our constitution guarantees to the liberty of the individuals. That's why they can live together. Ultimate result, now in these days, we are seeing day by day, if we on our televisions, we found that some girls has been raped by someone, some girls has been cut down in the piece of couples or piece of more than 100 pieces, and that can be preserved in the refrigerator, that can be put in the bag, that can be found in the gutters. It's, I think, one thing which I would like to clear here, it's my own opinion. You are agree or disagree with me, maybe, but it is my own opinion. that it is the result of the same judgment. Some persons are living very systematic life. That is good. But अगर कहीं इसके पीछे एक रोल है, तो लिव इन रिलेशनशिप का भी रोल है, जो हमारे जुडिशरी की देन. Second thing, if it talks about the another case, that is the, just 1 second. Sakti Vahini versus Union of India, where the Supreme Court has declared a right to choose the life partner as a fundamental rights. Here, no need to consent of guardians, no need to consent of the parents. If you have completed the age of 18 years, you can choose your life partner. So choosing the life partner right now become the fundamental rights with the pronouncement of the judiciary. Yes, rightly, we can say that it is okay, but it is also playing a vital role to destroying our society. At the time of marriage, they are willing to marry. They are willing to choose their partners. That's okay. But in awkward situations, in dangerous situations, in the any medical issues or any other issues, they are looking before their parents, their family. Next one case, which is going to destroy our society, that is the K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Right to privacy. Yes, right to privacy is a fundamental rights declared by the Supreme Court under Article 19, under Article 21. It's okay. Very, very nice. Right to privacy. You have to privacy. You can live separately. You can choose your life partner. You can do anything in your limits. Okay, that's fine. So 2013, 2014, 2015, right now in 2018, Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India. Supreme Court once again passed an hilarious judgment that the homosexuality is right now not an offense. And the section 377 of the IPC as unconstitutional. Bahut acha. Right now, if you talks about the object of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, if we talks about our Vedas, our dharmas, our smritis, our Puran, where there is a kind of rin, there is a depth, there is a 16 sacraments. And what about all these things? What about the marriage institutions? Okay, no issue. यहाँ तक भी ठीक है. In 2022, there is another petitions that is pending before the Supreme Court. That is the Supriyo Chakravarti and others versus Union of India. The petitioners are demanding the same-sex marriage. What is going on in our society? यही दिन देखना रह गया था. If they are talking about the section 4C of the Special Marriage Act, and they are talking about the section 5 of the Hindu Marriage Act. There is a term parties and age relation. That's good. No issue. But what about our society? What about the other persons? You are passing your order day by day, no issue. Can you imagine what will be the result going on in our society? No issue. Actually, इन सब जजमेंट्स के पीछे अगर हम बात करें, so they are demanding their fundamental rights. They are taking the plea regarding the constitutional provisions. They are talking about the Article 21, where the life and personal liberty guaranteed under Article 21, and that is interpreted by the Supreme Court also in the Menka Gandhi versus Union of India, live with human dignity. Right now, live with human dignity. Here the term is dignity important to mention here. That is the dignity. Is the meaning of dignity to live with the same sex? Is the term dignity is relevant with the marriage between the same sex? Is it your dignity? Is it our culture? Now you are demanding the same. No issue. One another provisions which is important to here mention, that is the Article 19, freedom of speech and expressions. They are demanding it's our expression. We can live together. Okay, no issue. You can live. They are taking the plea. Article 14. Okay. Right to equality. Equality before the law and equal protection of the laws. Okay, no issue. अभी रिसेंटली सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एक अभी जजमेंट अभी लास्ट वीक आया है, जहां पे एक मैरिड वुमेन ने जिसका हस्बैंड है और उसकी मैरिज अभी कंटिन्यू है और वो एडल्ट्री में पाई गई, तो वो कह रही है कि नहीं, मुझे प्रोटेक्शन दिया जाए बिकॉज मेरा हस्बैंड मुझे मार डालेगा। बहुत अच्छी बात है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा क्यों भाई, हम आपको क्यों प्रोटेक्शन देंगे? आपका पति है, आपका पति जीवित है, मैरिज इंस्टीट्यूशंस ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करता है, देन she has taken the plea of the 497 of the IPC, adultery. Joseph Sain versus Union of India. That is also good. So, live with human dignity, freedom of speech and expression, right to equality, all these things are very, very nice. Okay, well interpreted by the Supreme Court. If we take it in positive sense, all these are the very nice. But if we talk about the another aspects of the judgments, where we can say that the restrictions clause, certain restrictions, if we are demanding the freedom of speech and expression, if we are demanding the live with human dignity, so in the same place, our duty has been mentioned and state has right to restrict all these things, which is going to destroy to our society on the ground of security of the state, public order, decency, morality. Where there is no any ground, there is a ground of morality. What will be the impact on our society? Is our morality allows such things? So why is the Supreme Court and High Courts not restricting all these things on the ground of security of the state or the public order or the decency or the morality? So the person involving in all these things, they are also taking the grounds of the preamble of the Constitution. They take that they says that the preambles provide us the justice, that is the social, economic, and political justice. So social justice, they demand the social justice. Every person live. LGBT and Q, they can ask. We are not very rigid. They have also the certain needs like physical relations and others. So there, if the court is going to allow, that is okay. But in other conditions, in the same sex marriage, why the courts are interpreting the such things? They are demanding the equality, they are demanding the fraternity. And now one thing which I would like to mention here, that the integrity and unity of the nations. What about our integrity and what about the unity of the nations? If the such type of persons will demand such type of the rights, so what about our society? What about our culture? What about the integrity of the India? Can we think over it? No need, because Supreme Court has pronounced the judgment, and under Article 141, all the judgment passed by the Supreme Court shall be binding on all courts of the India. Supreme Court ने कह दिया है 141 में बाउंड है. अब क्या करना है भाई? एग्जीक्यूटिव को इसका एग्जीक्यूशन कराना है. Why legislature not coming and not taking the step on these things? So by all these things, I would like to say one thing. Our Constitution, Article 51, provide the provision regarding the protection of the institutions. As we know that the marriage is an institution declared by the several statutory provisions. If he talks about the Hindu Marriage Act, Section 5, that the marriage institutions has basic 5 major conditions. Under Section 7, there is a provision regarding the sacrament that must be followed if that is the continuous in their traditions and customs. So all these things, this is going to destroy to our society. Being a teacher, being a law student, being a researcher. Recently, I have made a survey regarding the same-sex marriage. Around 400 responses I have received, and I have analyzed that the teenagers, the age group around 18 to 30, around 40% persons are demanding in the same-sex marriage. They are agreed with the same. They are saying that is the good. So our new generations, where they are going? If the same-sex marriage will be allowed by the Supreme Court and the legislature will make a established law on the same things, what will happen? Can you imagine? No. Right now, we are known as Guru, Vishwaguru, because of our cultural assets. But right now, all these things is going to destroy our culture. As we know that there are 2 pillars in the society. They make the very vital and important role to make any regulation to change the society, to improve the society, to remove any the issues. They are the teachers and one another, the advocates. So being in the both capacity, here I would like to request you all, please ensure in teaching as well as your research, such type of things not be promoted. Now in these days, a very hilarious concept is going on. That is the marital rape. Can you imagine? At the midnight, wife will call, wife will dial on 100 or 112. Police will come and you will go into the jail. And at morning, there will be two witness, दो लोग जमानत के लिए आपके खड़े रहेंगे, फिर आप जमानत कराइए. The word has been coined by the any foreigners. किसी ने कह दिया कि हाँ मैरिटल रेप का भी कोई कॉन्सेप्ट है. Now in these days, our Indian teachers, our Indian legal researchers, they are promoting, they are trying to do research on the same things, marital rape. So live in relationship, right to life, right to choose a life partner, right to privacy, homosexuality, adultery, right now, same-sex marriage, and in upcoming days, our researchers, our teachers are promoting, मतलब जिस स्पीड से ये लोग promote कर रहे हैं, I think marital rape will also become an established law. So, being a teacher, I would like to request to remove all these things and try to make a healthy environment in our institution, in our society, in our country. Because nothing is going in our society. Everywhere we found murder, rape, this, that. So the basic object of our teaching or our research must be to remove any socio-legal problems. If our research, if our teaching remove any socio-legal problems or able to find out any socio-legal problems and make a healthy environment, then we can say that we are doing something good. Otherwise, all these things, I'm not here to criticize the Supreme Court and High Courts regarding all these judgment. It's my own opinion, because Supreme Court and High Court also interpreted the law, and that is also already in existence. But I am only sad with the provisions which have been not interpreted by the Supreme Court or High Court. They haven't interpreted the restriction clause. They haven't interpreted the duty clause. They have only focused on the few specific rights, and they are trying to guarantee few percent of the person of our society. And we all know that the exceptions are everywhere, in ancient time, in medieval time, in modern time. Exceptions are in every society. So exception can't be a rule. Exception is exception, not it's not become a law. हर समाज में आप एंशिएंट एज में देखेंगे तो भी वहाँ इलिस्ट्रेशंस मिल जाते हैं, सेम सेक्स के इलिस्ट्रेशंस मिल जाते हैं, बहुत सारे इस तरह के इलिस्ट्रेशंस मिल जाते हैं. अगर हम मुगल पीरियड में देखेंगे तो भी वहाँ बहुत आया था. मॉडर्न में तो खैर कोई बात ही नहीं, आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस कोई बात ही नहीं है. अदर कंट्रीज में हम देखें तो वहाँ पे भी कोई बात ही नहीं, बहुत सारे ऐसे इलिस्ट्रेशंस हैं. बट हम इन चीजों को क्यों प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, हमें ये नहीं समझ. So in very simple words, I would like to request you all that our teaching must be focused on to resolve our socio-legal issues to make an healthy environment. Don't try to such type of the research which is going to destroy to our society, like marital rape. Now in these days, academicians and researchers are busy to promote the marital rape. Supreme Court is busy to deliver the judgment on the same-sex marriage. So I am not here to make a lengthy discussion about on this topic, but if the team will be allowed, I will deliver a separate discussion on the topic of same-sex marriage, because I am going to make a research on the same topic, but in very soft. I would like to say one thing. Our culture is the main asset, and I will try to protect every time and everywhere. So I request once again you all to make an healthy environment in our teaching, in our research, and don't promote such type of things. Being an academician, we have to remove all these social things. We don't have to promote such type of things. So okay, Gaurav Babu and Priyanshu madam.
Sir,
I think some participants will ask more questions with me, because I am in a different opinions and they are in different opinions. But I have already clear that it's my own opinions. You are agree with my opinion, that is good. You are not agree with my opinion, that is also good. So if you have any certain questions or any doubt, we can discuss on the same issues.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, regarding the same-sex marriage,
Yes.
sir, I agree whatever you said, sir. But the Supreme Court has given the judgment, like Supreme Court has relied on the aspect of constitutional morality. And while the judgment was delivered, sir, it was said that whenever there is a conflict between the constitutional morality and the social morality, it is the constitutional morality which has to prevail. So on the basis of that, sir, what is your take on that, sir?
Ma'am, as well as the morality, I would like to not share any view on the same things, but I would like to mention here only one thing. If the Supreme Court will allow the same-sex marriage, our society will destroy. Certainly, if you are working in any institutions, you will find within a year there are many couples are moving here and there. They will wander here and there, like husband and wife. So please.
Sir, another thing regarding the culture, sir. I just had a question.
Ma'am, please speak loudly. I am unable to hear clearly you.
Okay, so now can you hear, sir?
Yes.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yes, please.
Sir, regarding this, yes, sir. Another question I had is that regarding this marital rape, sir, and regarding the culture, sir, you talked about. I agree to that, but sir, why only women are always placed to represent the culture? Why we are seeing many incidents. We have seen, but always women are only kept as an embodiment.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there are several incidents reported regarding the marital rape. There was party of the male. It's not just a female matter of the female. Male has also the aggrieved party in the same context. So I am trying to just protect to our marriage institutions, because okay, मैं अभी जब अपने अपने स्टूडेंट से कभी बात करता हूँ, मैं पूछता हूँ भाई क्या चल रहा है, तो उनका ये दिल्ली और एनसीआर में यहाँ पे प्रैक्टिस करने वाले हमारे जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं, सब यही ज्यादातर यही लोग कहते हैं सर बस कुछ नहीं चल रहा है, चेक बाउंस 138 एनआईए का मुकदमा चल रहा है और डाइवर्स विथ म्यूचुअल कंसेंट का मामला चल रहा है। मैंने कहा अच्छा, तो अब देखिए डाइवर्स विथ म्यूचुअल कंसेंट, मैरिज हुई है कितने दिन पहले, 2 साल पहले, 3 साल पहले, 4 साल पहले, अब क्या है वो आप साथ में नहीं रहना चाहते, दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड, बहुत अच्छी बात है। लेकिन आप उन दिनों के लिए इमेजिन करिए कि जैसे ठीक है हर परिवार है, हर फैमिली है, कहाँ पे डिस्टर्बेंस नहीं होता, कहाँ पे न्यूसेंस नहीं होता, कहाँ पे चीजें राइट रॉन्ग नहीं होती हैं, लेकिन एक तरह से वेपन्स, इट कैन बी यूज जस्ट लाइक अ वेपन against to any party. It may be a victim, may be the male, or victim may be the female. Both parties may be the victims. I'm not saying that the only female is the victims, only a male is the victims. Both parties may be the victims of the same offense.
Yes, sir, I can understand, sir. Thank you. And maybe, sir, we would this will go on, deliberations like endless if we go.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Your view regarding the society, how the society is destroying by verdict which has given by the Supreme Court, I do agree with you.
Yes.
The same things as in Sabrimala case, also Indu Malhotra gave a different verdict in the Sabrimala case. So definitely I with your view, and we have to protect our society by. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. Like you said, everyone can have their own opinions since
Actually,
we live in a
it was
society.
very short notice. Yesterday night, Gaurav has called to me, sir, there is some mishappening and can you take a session? So, and today was very busy schedule regarding the admissions and all these things are going on. So that's why. But
No, sir.
okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, and we are grateful to you. And I thank you again from the side of the organizers.
Thank you, everyone. Please. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, sir.
Okay, ma'am.